From the banks of the Allegheny, welcome to Film Bits, True Detective, Episode 4. Hey everybody, I'm not going to do a big preamble right now. I am just going to dive right in. Last we saw, Rust was present day talking about his dad and visiting him in Alaska because his dad had leukemia, and now we cut to here. You go back and rewatch that thing with Russ, and I think I mentioned this last episode. There is a hold on him for an extra second or so when he looks away, just to emphasize the dishonesty of his statement. Interesting camera here, really pressing up close on Rust there. Cut back to Rust's apartment. Interesting musical choice here by T-Bone Burnett. Flower into the baggie. Oh, well, Marty had a place to stay. Find it interesting also that they're both wearing white in Rust's very white apartment. And hell, 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, whatever it is, why not drink if you're Rust and Cole? It's a very white kitchen. And Marty just blending in. Just a little splash of red and a little splash of dark there. Cut back into the evidence room. McConaughey looks pretty good in this role. I love that Marty's copying Rust. It's like they become close, even though Rust is still kind of a jerk to Marty. And now we see. Gotta test its veracity, make sure it's good stuff. And again, the gray area of Rust's nihilism. We're all going to hell anyway, so he's going to follow the rules until they do not suit him to solve the case. And that becomes the old question of, does the end justify the means?
And coincidences keep mounting, Detective.
Oh, coincidences like what?
Well, I don't know if it would qualify as coincidence, but near as we could tell, his pops never had leukemia.
No hospital records of that.
Back nobody in that town.
Going in and out of that shallow soft focus with those two guys. Or sorry, not shallow soft, rack.
You still angry at him? Your pops?
No. He's dead.
It's one of the few times we've actually cut between interviews. Usually it's a Marty segment or a Russ segment, but now we've got them both in the present day. And we cut between the two.
He was in Nam. Met my mother on leave in Galveston. Time he came back, I was 2. She dumped me on him, and she hauled ass, and he and I moved to Alaska. He was a survivalist, I guess you'd call it. Had some pretty fucking strange ideas. Oh, there's nothing like the night sky out there, though. But I couldn't handle the cold, so I headed back to South Texas, because all I could remember was at least it never got cold. My old man always made like I let him down that way.
I know this is...
Said I had no loyalty.
I know this is going to sound weird, but that underarm sweat I think is very cool. I'll tell you why after we hear this dialogue.
Okay, but I do need him to watch my back on this.
This is how you all get warped. You always shortchange the wrong things.
Shortchange?
Mm-hmm. What else?
He wanted me to pass a tide of apologies, of which I'll skip. And he wants to see the girls, if you can make time for it. Kids are the only thing that matter, Maggie. You're the only reason for this old man-woman drama.
I'm sorry. What are you suggesting exactly?
Just that people fuck up. women, it's not supposed to work except to make kids. So if you can imagine Marty's behavior as an expression of weakness, pain, you see that it's not about you.
So end of the day, you duck under rationalizations.
Okay, a couple interesting things. First, let me address that underarm sweat. I mean, we can just look at Rust's hygiene and realize he doesn't give a good goddamn about any of that. So I think just that subtle kind of, well, it's not so subtle. I mean, we obviously see it, but the fact that we, haven't seen it before, and just another little marker of his character. Not even bothering to wear like antiperspirant. Now, as far as this discussion going on here, Rust acting as like kind of a go-between for Marty. Russ needs Marty sharp for whatever he's planning. And so he is going to tell Marty whatever he needs to keep him sharp. And he's going to try and get from Maggie some things that he can take back to Marty so that Marty will stay sharp. Some hope, some ideas of it being able to be worked out. And so he is trying to pitch a case here to Maggie that might not ring true to most of us out in the audience. It's really kind of pathetic, but it's also what Rust has, because Rust's sole motivation is catching that killer. And he probably doesn't even believe what he's saying, but he's doing the best he can to try and bring Marty home something from Maggie that will keep Marty strung along and keep him sharp for Rust's case.
Same as any of them. You must have been a great husband.
That might not have been the best thing to say. I like this reflection. I like how this is shot. So we still have Maggie, but we never lose sight of Rust. He leaves, and then as soon as he's out, we see him go from the diner into his truck. Maggie goes into a blur. I just like the way that's set up. That's a really, really cool and pretty shot. Another outside shot, but at dusk, just kind of, doesn't seem to connect to the other shots. Now there's Rust looking a little haggard. Look at his eyes.
About a week. Guy I used to run with, he wants to meet me tonight. And if I can get him alone, we snatch him up and work him over. Maybe get to Ladue.
Okay, great. Listen,
Phone's fully charged. And remember, it's real simple. Green answers, red hangs up. I'm the only one that's gonna be calling.
Yeah.
Right, keep it charged.
listen, how was she? What'd she say?
She was better. I can see her solving it.
That ain't true.
Use the D word. My eyes. I can see you two back together in a couple months.
You're an honest read.
That's an honest read, Marty.
Russ in that big old red truck. Marty in his own car. Marty's now out kind of acting as a spotter, and on the outside, as Russ goes into this biker club that he knew when it was mentioned. Has the biker jacket.
I don't know how this guy me tonight feels about me.
Well,
Okay.
what does that mean?
It means if you lose track of me tonight, keep this fucker handy. And be listening to Beaumont police channels.
Yeah,
You got it?
yeah,
You got it.
I got it. Are you gonna be all right?
A little bit of slow-mo being employed here. Haven't seen that too much in this series. And the fluorescent light, hot white light, and that hot white light on the wall there. After it started out being kind of yellowish. Marty was again in yellow light earlier, if you noticed.
Crash here for Ginger.
Crash, even has a name. Here for Ginger. That must be Ginger. And that's where we're going to pause. All right. So, the biker gang has been penetrated. We'll see how successful or not successful this winds up being. And Marty's waiting on the outside. Almost done. About 2 more episodes. And then we'll get to the halfway mark. Then after episode 4, we're going to do the credit breakdown. That's going to be a lot of fun. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.